Welcome to the Leverage You introduction. The Leverage You training is an organism development training for entrepreneurs, startups, CEOs who are dedicating their lives with their mission, with their entrepreneurship for Gaia. The Leverage You training will take place in Schloss Glarisegg in Switzerland from the 15th to the 19th of October. It will leverage your ability to hold space for an organization, and I call it more organism, which is able to navigate the world's complexity. Probably you're there and meeting all these challenges with your employees, in general with your business. The Leverage You training will enhance and give you the ability to tackle the challenges of this time. And probably you're facing edges where your organization is coming to a boundary, a natural boundary, because of different reasons. And you want to expand in an organic, regenerative way, but you don't know how. The Leverage You training will support you in exactly that. How to boost your own abilities, your internal thought maps, how to shift from a hierarchical structure into a Taurus technology-based structure, which means how to fall into the circle and empower people into their own leadership, into their space holding. You come together with like-minded people who have similar questions, and together we're gonna move into the next space beyond your inner limitations and into the space where something else becomes possible. You probably know that if you're not changing, if you're not developing, if you're not becoming a new shape, nothing will happen. Instead of holding space as the main leader, you become an organism developer. You transform into a space holder, a main space holder, to support a team which can thrive together. In an organism, there are different functions. They need to play together. To fall into the circle, which means like starting to operate as an organism and not only have the ambition of an employee doing the job right and then get your paycheck and go home, but to become also the source of this entrepreneurship together as a collective. It needs a shift inside you first, that you become the new space holder, that you're holding a new space so that others can follow. You're already at the edge. You are already caring enough. You're angry enough to care for the earth, that you're already enough engaging with reality that you want to develop something else. At the same time, probably you are facing challenges which involve a hierarchical structure, that your company is based on hierarchical structure. Even you might use already a way of sociocracy or holocracy, the inner structure of your employees and of yourself is not yet at that point where you would function as an organism, which would mean that the whole team becomes the source of the organization, of the purpose, of what you want to bring into the world. And the training will held by me, Christine Dürschner, and Anne-Chloè Destremau. And I ask her also some questions. Why leverage you? And this is what she said.
Your organism, your organization can be centered on how does human being regenerate themselves as they're regenerating the earth. It's a shift of context. It's a shift of where does the responsibility of having impulses, taking action, making proposals, negotiating, coming up with ideas comes from. And really, we've been taught since we've been in school that the teacher has the responsibility and therefore has the answer, and we draw that conclusion into our environment, like our working environment, where the boss is the responsible one, so therefore he or her has the ideas. And it's a really heavy weight on people, especially people who do not wish to control others or command others, because there's this conflict between this old idea or functioning of I'm the responsible one, I have to make the decision, and also maybe the financial burden is on me and I have to pay people. And also this idea at some point it comes into this conflict of, well, I'm paying people and they better do what I want them to do. And that conflicts with this wish of wanting collaboration and wanting empowerment and wanting people who are actually alive and well in their work environment, which actually means that they can be themselves, they can be alive in their own purpose. The power of people's aliveness and bringing intelligence and resources to a project, to an organization, comes from them really having this ability to be embodied in their emotional body, which is really learning to feel their feeling of anger, sadness, fear, or joy consciously, instead of using them as a reaction that shows up in all sorts of really impeding way in an organization of gossiping or backstabbing or complaining. The moment a person is complaining, it is because it is their job to create what they're complaining about. But in a hierarchical structure with boss and employees, the person's power is, I will complain to my superior and they will change it for me. In an organism, which would be a circular way of meeting and of making decision and of making proposals, when somebody has, quote unquote, a complaint or just simply an impulse, it's great. You are the spaceholder for this idea, go. And what do you need? Your job would be to hold space and decide, okay, is this person's desire and wish and impulse, is it in resonance with the project that I want to see happen? And that would be your job to determine and distinguish, this will empower the project and this will not. This conversation in Leverage You that we will start about what context, what culture, and I'm not talking about corporate culture, I'm actually talking about a culture, meaning in what ways do people interact with each other, in what ways do people interact with themselves, in what way people resource themselves, what resource are they using to be on this team that is trying to create a change in the world. Because this organism development is really about empowering project organizers that actually want to make a difference in the world through bringing people together. It comes through a process that we call context deepening, which is this question of what are we really up to here together? And that answer is not a one-line mission statement that you put on your website and then be satisfied with. It's something that evolves as you are a person that evolves. Each person on your team evolves through its interaction in the workplace, but also all sorts of foods and experiments or experiences they have outside of the workplace. So you have evolving beings, evolving people around you, you included, and one of the main conversation and one of the main force of this organism is ongoingly having this conversation of what are we doing together and how can we do this better. When you come together and unfold and deepen this purpose, this resonant purpose, it is a shared vision of the future. And actually, it's maybe more accurate to say a shared vision of the present. The coming together in a circle is really the future for humanity, because I think it's pretty clear by now that the command and control form of organization has led us to where we are now. I think it's exciting and inspiring to think that their workplace, the place where they come to spend most of their time and attention and love during the day, is a place where they can become more alive and become more themselves. The future of human being is unleashing this creation power from the genius individuals. And you are an attractor, you would be a magnet point for these geniuses to come.
If you got excited about what you just heard from Anne-Chloè and myself, then reach out to us, get more information so that you can hop on the train of organism development, which is actually really a pretty new stream of evolution. So if you want to be at the edge, at the forefront, jump in, get on board, and see you soon.